Chris Bumstead didn't wake up one day as a champion. There was no single moment where everything suddenly clicked, no dramatic transformation overnight. His journey was quieter than that, slower, built in small, repetitive actions that most people would find boring. And that's exactly why it worked. Long before the titles, before the stage lights, before the recognition, there were early mornings filled with doubt. There were workouts where the mirror didn't reflect progress. There were days when energy was low and expectations were high. Those were the days that shaped him. Chris understood something simple but rare. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you question everything. If you depend on emotion, you become inconsistent, and inconsistency kills progress. So instead of chasing motivation, he built structure, routine, discipline. He showed up whether he felt like it or not. The gym became less about excitement and more about responsibility. Each workout was not about proving something to others, it was about keeping a promise to himself. That promise was simple: get a little better if it's only 1%. There were injuries that tested him deeply, not small setbacks, but real challenges that forced him to slow down. When your body is your craft, any injury feels personal. There were moments of frustration, moments of fear about whether he would return at the same level. But instead of letting fear control him, he leaned into patience. Patience is uncomfortable. It asks you to trust progress you cannot yet see. While others chased heavier weights to feed their ego, Chris refined his technique. He paid attention to detail. He slowed his reps down. He focused on connection, control, balance. He understood that longevity matters more than temporary dominance. There is a big difference between training hard and training intelligently. Hard work without direction leads to burnout. Intelligent consistency leads to mastery. Most people see the stage version of Chris Bumstead, confident, composed, balanced. What they don't see are the thousands of normal days that came before it. The meals eaten when he wasn't hungry, the workouts completed when he felt flat, the cardio sessions done in silence, the same exercises repeated for years. Repetition builds identity, and identity builds results. He didn't try to become someone else. He didn't copy every trend. He stayed focused on his strengths. He worked on weaknesses patiently. He didn't rush growth. He trusted time. Time is something most people underestimate. They want change in weeks. He thought in years. There were competitors rising, pressure increasing, expectations growing heavier every season. When you win once, people doubt if you can do it again. When you win multiple times, they wait for you to fall. That pressure could break someone who depends on external validation. But Chris never built his confidence on outside opinions. His confidence came from knowing he did the work. It came from quiet nights when no one was filming, from early sessions when no one was clapping, from staying disciplined even when the spotlight was gone. He understood that success is fragile if it is built only on outcomes, but if it is built on habits, it becomes stable. There were preps that felt smooth and others that felt heavy. Diet fatigue, mental exhaustion, the psychological strain of always trying to bring your best version to the stage. It is easy to admire the physique. It is harder to understand the mental endurance required to maintain it. Bodybuilding at that level is not just physical, it is psychological warfare with yourself. You question whether you are doing enough, whether you are pushing too hard, whether you are falling behind. And in those moments, your mindset decides everything. Chris learned to control what he could control: training, nutrition, sleep, recovery, mindset. The rest, judges, competitors, opinions, were outside his control. Energy spent worrying is energy wasted. Instead, he put that energy into execution. He stayed calm when others were dramatic. He stayed steady when others were erratic. He improved quietly when others talked loudly. That calmness became his advantage.
When he stepped on stage, there was no panic, no rush, just presence. Years of repetition allowed him to stand there with certainty, not arrogance, certainty, because he knew he had prepared. Preparation removes fear, and preparation is built on discipline. But beyond trophies and titles, the deeper story is about personal growth. Chris didn't just build a physique, he built patience, emotional control, long-term thinking, resilience. He learned that setbacks are not signals to quit, they are signals to adapt. He learned that comparison steals focus. He learned that ego shortens careers. He learned that sustainability beats intensity. Most importantly, he learned that consistency is more powerful than motivation. You can be motivated for a week, maybe a month, but to be consistent for years, that requires maturity. There were sacrifices, social events missed, strict routines maintained, comfort delayed, but he never saw them as losses, he saw them as investments, and investments compound. The world sees the visible results of compounded effort. What they don't see is the invisible discipline behind it. That's the difference between inspiration and reality. Inspiration is exciting, reality is repetitive. Chris Bumstead embraced the repetition. He didn't look for shortcuts. He didn't jump programs constantly. He trusted gradual progress. He trusted his coach. He trusted the process. Trust is powerful when results are slow, and slow results are often the most permanent. When people ask what makes a champion, they expect a secret, a hack, a unique method, but often the truth is simpler than they want to hear. Show up, execute, recover, repeat for years. That's it. There were moments of doubt, yes, moments where the pressure felt heavy, moments where he wondered how long he could maintain such high standards. But every time doubt appeared, discipline answered, not with emotion, with action. And action silences doubt faster than motivation ever could. The reason Chris Bumstead stands out is not just genetics or aesthetics, it is his stability, his refusal to be extreme for attention, his ability to remain grounded even at the top, because he knows something important. Success is rented, not owned, and the rent is due every day. Every workout, every meal, every recovery session, no days off mentally. And that mindset applies beyond bodybuilding. It applies to anyone building anything, a career, a business, a skill, a life. Consistency over chaos, structure over emotion, patience over panic. So when you think about his journey, don't think only about the trophies. Think about the mornings he didn't feel like training. Think about the injuries he worked through carefully. Think about the boring meals, the repeated exercises, the quiet discipline. That is where greatness lives, not in noise, in consistency. Chris Bumstead is not just a bodybuilder. He is proof that long-term commitment beats short-term intensity. And if there is one lesson to take from his journey, it is this: you don't need to be extreme to succeed. You need to be steady. You need to stay. You need to keep showing up long after the excitement fades. Because in the end, champions are not built by hype. They are built by habits that never break.
I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to
Come on, that's it. Good job.
fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. Dynamite, ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around